Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're talking about a game that we are probably long overdue to talk about.
You think?
We're talking about Job Simulator, a game that, one of our Discord members, actually a Patreon member as well, Amelia, she's been on us to review the games from this company. And I've always seen Job Simulator on, top rated, top selling.
Even when we first got the headset, there's no avoiding it.
No, it's always front and center in our face, and somehow we managed to avoid it and never review it. And it's time to pull the Band-Aid off. We're going to review Job Simulator, Vacation Simulator, and Cosmonius High.
Mm-hmm.
Get all the games from,
We're gonna do the gambit.
Yeah. Run right through it. So Job Simulator, it's made by developers, and I probably pronounced this wrong Monday, pronouncing it wrong today. It's made by developers Owlchemy Labs. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Owlchemy Labs. You were guessing Alchemy Labs? Owlchemy Labs? Owlchemy Labs? Owlchemy Labs. It's something like that. I need a pronunciation of it. I was even...
Owlchery. I don't know. I call it who.
Yeah. Who, because of the owl in it, yes. But Owlchemy Labs, whatever it's pronounced. But we're going to review all three of their games back to back, like I said. Which they have more than those.
Like the progression of how what they've been able to learn from the first one to the second one to the third.
Yeah, so. And they do have a bigger library than just those three games. But those games all seem like spiritual successors to each other. So it just seems appropriate to run those three in a row. But today
makes up for never doing it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
And honestly, there's been a lot of good games coming out, some more games coming out soon. And it's like, we got some, this gives us some good time to deal with a little bit of a backlog too. But today we are talking about Job Simulator. And it is $19.99 on the official MetaQuest store. Check this, came out May 21st of 2019. So we're reviewing a game that's going on to be 4 years old, which is almost a little unfair for some of our gameplay or some of our categories. Like, how does it hold up 4 years? But,
we'll see.
I actually think if anything, no spoilers to the score, but I think it might be impressive, how a game 4 years old does, So May 21st, 2019. I usually don't say this, but I think we're saying it's 1.8 gigabytes. Which, you got to think at the time that the Quest 2 first came out, we were talking about it a little bit on Monday with like data storage and stuff. 1.8 for a 2019 game is a little on the higher end for 2019.
I don't know if it was released at 1.8.
That's a good point. Or if those are updates that came throughout the time, that's a good
fresh
point.
Off the, if you never owned it, then 1.8.
And this is real impressive. I mentioned it's always on the top selling, top rated. It's 4.7 overall on the MetaQuest store with 14,583 total ratings and 8,330 written reviews.
I'm thinking people like it. I'm thinking people like it a lot.
Now, if this is your first time ever listening to this podcast, we always say the ratings and review numbers of games that we review, and 14,000 is not the normal by any means. 5,000 would be
these
high.
These are your standouts. I mean, granted, one could also say, hey, let's see where a lot of the games that
in 4 years.
Yeah, in 4 years time from now. But even if you break down the divided by 4, it's like, okay, that's a very impressive little standing you got going on.
And dude, to hold a 4.7 with 14,000 people reviewing it is good. I mean, it really, really impressive on their end. And I think that that's part of the reason that it's always in top rated and top selling. And the game's called Job Simulator, but don't think that you're simulating jobs in like a realistic sense. There's a very comical theme, vibe, aesthetic in general to this game. It's futuristic, so you're nothing but robots around you when you go in.
Well, and the robots are just old PC monitors.
Yeah.
Like PC monitors with, essentially that's really what they are, is like a PC monitor with like eyes and hats and ties but they're
silly
PC robot monitors. Yeah. PC monitor robots
with unique personalities. I will say. And right when you load in, it's like you go in and there's, like we said, a robot PC monitor with a personality. He's like, hello, human. And, he has you, he pretty much explains, like, here's the job sims to play. And
he's always with you, too.
Yeah.
He's always sitting there on the side waiting for you to fuck up.
Which, all right, nonetheless, but, the way it works is you're pretty much playing simulations that these robots have created of how it was when humans did these jobs, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, whatever the year is, and, currently in the game. So it's speculative from the robot's point of view. That's important to say. It's not going to be 100% accurate. No. There's some silly things where it's, referencing that they don't quite fully understand, how things are. I don't want to give spoilers. That's going to be a tough one in this because there's some funny.
You know what my funniest one was? Yeah, I won't say which one it was.
I know what it was because it was the funniest for me too.
Which in which job?
It was in the I believe it was the restaurant one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I already know what it was.
Yep.
It was like we don't quite understand the full technology of how they did it.
I died laughing though.
Oh my goodness!
Because they they make you do a certain series of things, and it's like, what? I don't understand. Why would I ever do that? And then the little robot guy tells you like, we understood that it had something. Oh man, I lost it.
Taking names way too literally.
That's funny. You know what's interesting though? It's a single player game, but it's rated with crude humor. Mm-hmm. I didn't find any of the humor crude.
No.
I thought, if anything, there was some pretty funny one-liners and some wittiness, but I wouldn't have said anything was actually crude.
No, I can't really think of any like sexual innuendos or anything like that.
No.
Or cussing or anything like that.
No, matter of fact, I'd say within an hour, I was like, because we're always talking like, there's what games would you recommend for first-time VR users? This is like in any age. Really, from a little person would never get some of the jokes anyways, but they would still be able to do the tasks. Mm-hmm. Where older person will totally get everything. Mm-hmm. So it's really hitting all the bases. Groups. Yeah, dude.
And we'll get into the gameplay real in depth. I want to keep it kind of explaining a little bit the way the game works when you go in. But real quick, I gotta say, just because we're on it, this is part of the reason why it would be such a good first-time VR user. It's good humor for all ages, like you were saying. Good, it'll be entertaining, but it's such a good like representation of the possibilities of VR with interaction and physics. Like everything is interactable, and you would go, "Well, I wonder if I do this with this, if something will happen," and it will happen. Like they do such a good job. So it's a lot of games, especially I feel like it's happening more and more in games. It's like the only things that need to be interactable are interactable. Everything else is cosmetic. Whereas I feel like you go back to some older games and it seemed like developers were a little bit more obsessed with making everything interactable. Mm-hmm. In this game, that's a highlight to it. Everything is really interactable. I can't really think of anything that I went to go grab and it was like, unless it's completely unrealistic to grab and pick up, but even then it's probably interactable in some way.
Well, all right. Well, you know how I wasn't able to grab hats and stuff off people in all the levels.
Oh,
versus like the convenience store.
Okay, what's funny? I forgot to try it in the other ones besides
take the robot's glasses off and wear it.
Yeah,
which I really thought was a cool.
I did that in the convenience store, and I think I told you about it, right?
Yeah,
but I don't think I did it in any of the other ones. No.
I tried it in. The office, and it was not successful. Maybe it is, but you can steal attachments from the robots.
I wish I took Bandit Bot's bandana.
Yeah, see, I don't. Oh, yeah.
I want to see what it looks like.
You couldn't. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't even try, But nonetheless, this game highlights interactability like through the roof.
Oh, dude, I listen, anything there was to like pick up and play with or whatever. I don't care if I threw it or whatever. I was doing it.
Yeah, and I know it sounds weird to be spoiler free for a game that came out 4 years ago, but there's always new VR users. There's people like us that still hadn't played it yet, so there's going to be some things we want to say, especially regarding some bots or some moments, but we'll keep it spoiler free.
Yeah, try my best.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, because yeah.
But
Whatever.
here's the thing: if you would have told me the funny moments before I experienced them,
Yeah,
it wouldn't
no,
have been
and
as funny.
the organicness of when
Discovering
something
it.
happens or when you do something and there's a certain
100%.
rebuttal because of it is, a big percentage of the experience.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But like I was saying, so the game is, you're kind of in like a laboratory simulation room where they're, those robots come in, they're like, hey, try out these job simulations.
Oh, the main, I pictured it. You know what it reminded me of was more of a, like an airport hub.
Okay, I guess that's a good, it's some sort of, some
They have
type of hub.
They have the lines for
Like
your
a gift shop.
Yeah. Then you look at I think they got.
Oh, maybe it's a mall.
I think they got the movies that they're showing on the left side. So I got that more of like a.
Yeah.
I guess I'd go shopping mall.
It's some sort of commercial hub.
Yeah.
Some sort of hub.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, yeah, there's just like, hey, come try out the jobs that humans did thousands of years ago, So they have these cassette tapes that you like pick one of the four jobs.
They're old school
cassette tapes.
like cartridges, like for games.
And there's 4 jobs. You have mechanic sim. I guess I'll say them in order that they go, right? So you have
Don't go backwards.
Well, because you can pick them up in any order too, so you don't have to do them in order. But yeah, I guess for consistency, let's see how I do off the top of my head. We got office sim is the first one, and then the second one is convenience store sim, right?
I think the second one is restaurant.
Oh yeah, you're correct. Sorry. So it goes office sim, then it goes your restaurant.
If you do them in
in the order. You're like a cook sim. You're like a, what's the actual name of that job?
Chef. I thought it was chef.
Chef sim.
Yeah, I'm almost positive. What do we got? Oh, gourmet chef.
Gourmet chef simulator.
Yeah. So it's your chef sim.
All right. So the cooking sim, yeah, that one. Then it goes convenience store sim,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes mechanic sim.
So here's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
Are you a human?
I think.
Or are you a robot?
I think you're a robot
to play what it was like to be. Yeah.
Yes, you're a robot.
Because at first I thought I was a human.
You're a human in the simulations.
And I'm like, oh man, this is like Planet of the Apes meets, AI. This is scary shit.
Yeah, no, you're.
Then I started feeling like I'm just a human slave for these robots' entertainment to
basically
do tasks.
In the jobs, in the actual simulation, you are.
Ooh-wee.
So
and then I was like, oh no, you idiot! You're a robot getting to experience what you're paying for this experience.
And you know what's even funnier? When you go in the simulations, so yeah, you're a robot who's experiencing these one of these 4 job simulations. But when you go in, the people that you interact with there are still the robots. They're still the
PC heads.
Yeah, which makes me go, them in the future, they don't know a visual representation of what human looks like. Based off of some of the other dialogue and moments, I would be like, that's the canon for why, the in-game lore of why it's still robots in the simulation when it's supposed to be humans, because, well, we don't know how humans
They've
look.
been around. They've been around for a while. We're playing guesswork on little pieces of things we've picked up on
ChatGPT wiped them out,
Right? Don't even joke.
But, so before we keep going to it, which one of the 4 was your favorite?
I'm torn.
Yeah.
Because as far as realism tied into a very silly experience, convenience store was pretty damn realistic.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of just the monotony or the characters that come in.
Yeah.
The customers that come in, there were a couple that are like, holy shit, anybody that's ever worked retail was dealt with a douchebag like that. 1,000,000%.
Yeah. There was the least bit of like non-accurate representation in the convenience store.
But
Whereas
the mechanic one I like because I'll do the Uncle Vinny shit when the people come in with the car. Just picture, Uncle Vinny with his white greasy t-shirt. Yeah, get your fucking car back here. I got you. You wanted air fresheners. I get you taken care of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no. So it's like those are definitely my 2 favorite.
And so I think a huge highlight of this game, besides the interactability, is the humor in it.
You think?
It's like all these robots have this most silly, exaggerated personalities. you might have, I referenced Bandit Bot, which is exactly what you would think. He literally has like a cowboy bandit. Like, I got the cheddar. I got all the cheddar.
Give me all the cheddar.
I got the cheddar. And it was awesome. The mechanic one, when he pulls up, he goes, I got the cheddar. So it's just silly stuff like that.
There's just zero part of this that's meant to be taken serious.
There's one in the convenient, I don't want to give a spoiler on all the personalities and stuff like that, but just, your boss bot in the office one, he reminded me a lot of, remember Office Space?
Yeah. Oh, that was 100% what they were going for. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to. Yeah, could you get that taken care of for me?
Okay.
Yeah. I throw shit at him all the time.
All the time. But that's part of everything being interactable, and there's so much hidden stuff in this game. But nonetheless. So the game is kind of linear at first. Like, there's 100% progression through each simulator. Like, if you start one, you do a couple little checkpoints and you go out of it, and then you go to go back in, you'll see like 25% done on the cartridge. Like, there's a numerical representation on it, which is cool. If you don't finish it all in one, it's easy to see. Like,
yeah, and it's cool to know that there's some theoretical endpoint, which
Yeah, I remember I didn't finish the mechanic sim in one go. I had a short night of playing, so I was like, all right, boom, and then I went to go hop back in the next day, and I was like, dude, I'm 75% done. Like, boom, I'll be done with this in a little bit. You could even see how many more missions were left to go. I thought that was really cool.
Does not take long to go through a full.
What would you say, 45 minutes, 30 minutes to 45?
I'd say about 30, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, actually. 30 if you don't mess
Fuck
around.
around?
Yeah. 30 minutes to an hour and a half is what I would say. Because, like, I think the Office one I messed around the most in. Because, like, there's the whole computer with... Dude, there's little, like, flash games.
I spent a lot of time in the games on the computer.
Isn't that silly, too? I'm playing, like, an Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Minesweeper.
Yeah. I literally could
Flappy Birds.
I could go do this on anything.
And it's really, really old school. Like,
oh, it's awesome. They even have the mouse that you grab and move around.
DOS-based games.
Dude, like, so the Office one is a great one that they do for the first one, because, like, I did one of the first things that I think you did too, and it was like, you go in the office, you look to your right, there's a coffee maker, and I go, well, what happens if I put my coffee under it and go to make coffee? Yeah, and it makes you a coffee. Yep. And right then and there, I was like, this is going to be awesome. And then,
dude, they have the red stapler. I think they emphasize it so much because of Office Space. Oh, dude, I always have my stapler.
Even in the
my stapler.
Even in the game description, they're like, throw a stapler at your boss.
Oh yeah, they make it known.
Like, yeah, and when you throw stuff at people, they go, hey.
Yeah, they get a little get those little star things, like they're shorting out for a second. I thought there'd be a punishment, to be honest with you, for throwing shit.
You can just mess with people all day.
Absolutely. You can throw shit over to the because you're in a cubicle office, of course. You can throw shit over the cubicle, and you'll hear or the other person will stand up and, what are you doing over there? It's all good-natured, fun humor.
Yeah, and they all follow the kind of like the same mechanic of like, so you're going to go in the simulation, whichever one of the 4 jobs it is, you're going to go into that job, and you're going to, each job is different of how they do it, but you're going to be presented a task. You start the task.
And they visually even show you
what to do.
It's
like
almost too easy. Yeah.
Very clear.
There's no fail.
Very clear. So they show you the task, you do the task, you get a new task, rinse and repeat. That's how the whole job goes.
Could be slightly different on the task, but it's pretty much the same.
Well, yeah, each task is a little different, but throughout the whole progression of it, you're going to pretty much use everything in your space at some point. Like, example, in the mechanic one, like, you go in and there's a list of categories to go through on the vending machine. If you haven't visited every one of those categories in a mission, you're not done yet. Like, at some point in time, it's going to have you use every single item or every single part of
the cooking one.
Exactly. You're going to use all. Yeah. At some point, you're going to use every ingredient there. So right off the top, if there's some sort of item that you're not using yet that you can tell is like part of the game in terms of like a mission thing, you're not even close to done yet.
And I really enjoy the fact, because when we first started playing it, you don't really see it so much until you get to the convenience store and the the cooking with the chef, gourmet chef one,
Mm-hmm.
is like, oh, I only have a flat grill, but you realize real quick you have a little dial that you turn and it turns into different things, and then your other side you have a dial and it like turns from like a sandwich maker to a sink to the blender, so you can blend up stuff. I'd love to talk about some of the fun. There's some funny shit in that gourmet chef one.
Yeah, like I'll say,
I think that's probably maybe even the funniest one as a whole.
like without giving spoilers too much, I don't think that this is anything game breaking, but it'll be like there's a microwave, and if you put stuff in the microwave, it does what you think a microwave would do.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh no, you have to have as much fun with this as you.
yeah, but
You
here's the thing. We said that the time for each job is 30 minutes to an hour and a half. That's because there's so much in this
Hour
game.
and a half's a stretch there, dude.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big stretch.
The reason I said that long range is because like the Office one you could easily spend an hour and a half in. I spent 30 minutes on the computer by accident without doing a single mission.
You can
like
take the shit serious and,
blow through it in 30 minutes.
or no, like just, well, outside of the normal mode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can just sit there and whip them out. I mean, if you really feel like working.
Yeah.
And even the jobs they have you do, it's not.
It's not work. It's silly.
Oh, yeah, it's wicked silly shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. There is a lot of spoilers in some of the shit they make you do, huh?
Well, here's the thing, because I could say the mechanic is funny because this guy's going to roll in and they have you do this, but then it's not going to be enjoyable.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I just, there was something I wanted to say, but it's a job spoiler, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But the jobs, so like the humor in this game is so novelty to me that
I appreciate the humor a lot.
Yeah, to me that kept it exciting.
Yeah.
But there's so much that people can miss as well too. Like in The Office, there's like game CDs or CDs for your computer in general that don't come up at all in the mission that I only found through messing around. And it's like you would never experience that.
Yeah, if you do just the bare minimum, I'll say
You're only gonna get like a quarter. You're gonna get like a quarter of the game or half the most.
There is some hidden stuff in this.
There's so much hidden
game, and it's like you really gotta and put your thinking cap on for if you're gonna take it to that next level. I'm not gonna spoil it because it's a pretty big spoiler, but there's some cool shit, a lot of Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm. And kind of something we didn't mention, there's subtitles, there's all that stuff. It's room scale. Like it lays the game out to your room. So depending on the size of the room you're playing in is going to dictate the size of the area that you're playing in as well. Like one night I played it in my bedroom and it was so tight. I actually liked it really nice for the mechanic because I didn't have to really walk anywhere to do anything. But then I finished it the last 25% in my living room and I was like, whoa. It was easier tight, it goes to your room, but there's no walking around with the controller.
I tried.
And there's no turning with the controller. All of the movement in the game is you doing it.
Dude, I'm so jealous of the people that have huge play areas for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you can really go explore.
Yeah.
Well,
here's the thing, though. If you load it in a huge play area, it's going to be laid out for a huge play area.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to walk over to that area, it's going to be like, if you played in a tight area, it's going to be the same proportion.
All right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I've seen people do it where they're walking to areas I can't get to.
They have to be probably playing in a small guard. They probably just drew their guardian very small. So it's tricking it into being a small play space.
Pretty impressive, though.
Yeah,
especially
that's the only thing I can think of.
Especially in the mechanic garage. Yeah, because I couldn't figure out how to.
Yeah, because you
How
went.
can I get over there?
You went and watched some videos after you played, right?
Yep.
Of like, what could I have missed?
Yeah, and I was like, instantly, how is he able to do that? I can't do that. No matter what, I've tried. I'm like, shit. There is a way I can now, but that's because I finished all the.
Yeah, I will say so. Somebody might be listening to this and they go, 4 jobs. 30 minutes to an hour and a half on an extremely generous.
That's beyond generous.
Extremely
I'll give
generous.
you the hour with no
okay.
complaint. Hour 30.
Okay.
I'm like, what are you really doing in there?
Hey, Be happy we don't got video, you know?
right?
No, harassing bots for 45 minutes. Dude, I messed around a lot in this game.
No,
I-
I'll admit that.
I think I think each one I spent over an hour in, if maybe the least amount of time, an hour, because I messed around so much. There was times that I would spend 20 minutes and go, oh man, I gotta grab the ticket for the next job or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that happened to me.
It happened to me a bunch. Because I was like, I don't want to
Just
miss.
screwing around.
Yeah. There was a lot to play with in each level, in each one.
Yeah, there's a certain machine in a convenience store I like to just put things in and make shit happen.
Oh, I think we can say that without it being a spoiler.
Okay.
There's like an enlarging machine.
The jumbo machine.
The jumbo machine.
So if someone wants a jumbo slushy, you know, or a jumbo candy bar,
Boom, makes it big. I made
but
it
dude, you can
so
jumbo
much,
everything.
anything in it. Yeah, dude, somebody came in. I took the glasses and the hat off their face.
And jumboed.
I jumboed it, wore it like being silly, and then put it back on them and let them leave.
That's
So
funny.
they left with these jumbo glasses and hat. Yeah, you can jumbo anything.
I usually take their stuff, and sometimes if I don't wear it, because you know how you can visually see you're wearing their hat, I'll
Yeah.
just throw it. They don't go and retrieve it.
I think the only thing that hearing that there's a jumbo thing would have affected for me before playing the game is it would have made me hop into the convenience store as my first one instead of
Just
doing
start
it. Instead of
jumboing
doing it
everything,
over.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd be so.
What can I not jumbo?
Although I don't know if I would have appreciated that jumbo aspect until I really appreciated the
I just went in
interactability in this
order.
game. Yeah, I liked going in order.
I don't know why I felt I needed to, but I'm like,
That's the order in the box.
that's
the
how
order
they
I'm going.
put it. I mean, does it mix up for everybody?
Mhm.
No, you had the same order I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but-
I feel like that's how the developers had it in mind
but
for you
I
to experience.
did. I
so-
want to go to another one first? Yeah, I was like, I would have loved to have.
Yeah, I don't
Probably would have jumped to a convenience store first.
Yeah, I don't think Office Sim was my favorite, but it was a good introduction to the game because
Hell
it's like
yeah.
you start browsing through the computer,
Yeah.
you open the CD-ROM, you use the CDs,
Dude, you got a cubicle and
you
it's
use
all
the coffee
decorated.
machine. I equivalent it to
They bring you the donuts and coffee too in the morning.
Shell games. You know how that first level and I Expect You to Die
It's a feel
is like,
you out level. Yeah.
and it's like the perfect introduction to the series. Like if you like, it's so yeah.
There's a lot to do in the office though.
There's so much to do.
Yeah.
That's why I spent a while in the office. I spent like 20 minutes playing Oregon Trail. It's not called Oregon Trail
No.
too, but it's Oregon Trail.
I
There's like a
played it.
Flappy Bird type one too. There's like 4 or 5 games.
Dude, you can waste some time on that. The little mini games.
Yeah,
For
that's
real.
what I'm saying. See, that's why I don't think it's a stretch for me to say 30 minutes to an hour and
All
a
right.
half.
If you play all the mini games, yeah,
And you dick around on the computer. There's
Yeah.
some websites.
look at photos.
Yeah, dude, the game is freaking awesome.
Coworker sends you email or something.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I guess you're right.
Yeah. I love when you no, see, I can't even say it. Never mind. But nonetheless, so Office Sim's a lot of fun. I don't think there's any I really disliked, but the bot personalities really stuck out as a big thing that made this game special to me too. The wide
yeah.
variety of them. There's only one bot in the whole game that I found annoying. It was a little kid with candy.
Oh yeah.
Sugar, 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 sugar.
Yeah.
There's even that. Even when that came up, I hear my girlfriend Kelly in the background. She goes, "What's that thing's problem?"
It wants sugar.
I go, "Unfortunately, I gotta load it up with sugar." Unfortunately,
That's funny.
yeah. Other than that, all the other bots I freaking loved. Especially, I already said it, but Bandit Bot was a highlight to me.
Your favorite?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got really nothing bad
had,
to
like,
say about any of the
they had Malibu's Most Wanted looking guy. Remember that movie?
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Do you remember that movie?
No.
You don't remember Malibu's Most Wanted?
Who was in it?
Oh, dude, I don't know any of these actors' names. It was a incredibly bad, like 2000 movie. Hold on, if I show you
This
this
sounds familiar, but I'm not remembering this at all.
with this guy,
Oh yeah, actually, you know what?
dude, they had a Malibu. Remember?
It's not a bad movie.
No, it's freaking
dumb.
stupid. Yeah,
okay.
100%.
I remember this movie.
It's like
now.
the Idiocracy area.
He's a
era
rich.
of
He's a
comedy
rich
movies.
kid.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
There was one character in the mechanic shop that I was like, that is Malibu's Most Wanted coming in here as the
Okay.
customer. So it's like you can.
Now I'm really remembering it. This movie was like stupid humor funny.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it was,
Yeah.
dude. But that character made me Think of it. There's a lot of the random bots that you'll encounter.
Didn't they kidnap him too?
Yes. That movie was.
This is hardly a spoiler. This thing came out in
2003. Yeah, they had him go in the convenience store to try to rob it.
Yeah, he wanted to be a rapper, right?
Yeah, he wanted to be hard, and he was not hard. He's
soft. A fucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed white kid from
rich
Malibu.
As hell. Yeah, dude, it was a genius movie.
Yeah, okay,
genius movie. Genius. I would see that on Comedy Central all the time. So yeah, that one.
I haven't seen that.
Do you remember the mechanic character I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
Comes in the howl sideways. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So even just the random characters that you interact, besides like Boss Bot, who's a more central bot, and it's like the literal random 10-second interaction.
Dude,
bots are hilarious.
In the mechanic, I don't even care if this is a spoiler. They have a license plate section.
Yes, and one of them says masshole.
Yeah, one of them says masshole. Like, there's more than one state out there. One of them says silicon. Yep. So you know it's like that's your California.
Yep. I love the masshole. I even sent you a picture when I hit it, and I go, "Does that say masshole?" You go,
"Yep." Yes, it does.
So yeah, dude, the humor in this game I was laughing so much.
You know how much fun they must have had putting it all together, writing all the things they wanted the robots to say.
Some of the best voice acting I've seen in a game. It's just all
for what it is. For comedy,
yeah.
For overall, I might go a little different with a storyline game, but
yeah,
for what this is, for comedy and putting a smile on your face and making you laugh. Yeah,
I meant in terms of like creativity and variety. Yeah. Like they did a great job writing it all, recording it all.
I love the perspective of just how they think. And humans would have been.
I bet you more of those bots are like modeled after something in pop culture that I just missed too. Like I bet you if I was more of like a aficionado of pop culture, I would have caught even more references. Because think Malibu's Most Wanted.
From what I've learned from devs, especially with the Kung Fu one, is like never underestimate where some of these characters come from, because they all 100%. Come from somewhere, and it's usually not just pulled out of thin air. So it's like it'd be interesting to know like this particular bot came from. We were implying this movie, this one, because there's a couple blatants, like you said, like Office Space, pretty freaking blatant. I'll give you the Malibu's Most Wanted.
Because the character even references a rich dad.
I would totally be hard pressed to think what else it would be. So it's cool if they grabbed a movie from 2003. So now, what levels of
That's what I'm saying. How many pop culture references are actually in this game?
Cheddar, see? Yeah. Give me the cheddar, yeah. So yeah, I'm now wondering
how many of these are just random creations. I'm
all
wondering.
Of them I think are tied to something.
They must have been in tiers in the.
This is when we find out
that
like you're the last kids to the party. You don't know that every single one of these collates. Like, hey, that was Robert De Niro.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, those are the only references you guys got. Do you guys not watch TV? You never watch a movie?
At least 3,
Yeah. I got a handful.
Not all of them.
But they must have been in tiers in the recording studio. That's what I'm making the voice tracks for this.
No, I am. I'm sure the guys who wrote it did. The developers, but the voice actors, they tend to be more.
Well, then you also got to wonder.
There to do my job. And
how much was like. I feel like if I were to, in my head, go, write, give me the cheddar, it would be hard for me to translate that. I wonder if that was something that came up in the voice acting studio. Like, well, I'm going to change cheddar to cheddar.
Well,
give me the cheddar.
I mean,
or was that completely how the writer visualized it too? And based off the credits.
I mean, how can you
if you pulled out the credits in this game, there's a lot of recurring roles.
One of the coolest credit things I've ever seen too.
Yeah, so I mean, right off the top, you go to leave a level in this game, you click it, the pause button on your left controller, and then a suitcase comes up. You open it. To leave the level, you eat a burrito.
Eat a burrito, baby.
Makes no freaking sense. But that's the type of humor we're talking about. I love it.
Eat a burrito to leave.
You eat a burrito, but the credits are like little business cards that you pull out. Yeah, little index cards. You pull it out one at a time. And you'll see some recurring names pop up, that were earlier in the list that also appear in the voice actor list.
Oh yeah, I think one of the developers did some of the voice acting.
Yeah, definitely. I saw some, like I said, some recurring names
Because you
on
can't
there.
just look at a freaking robot, right? And be like, well, this is what we want it to say, and have no baseline of, well, what kind of, that you have to get, okay, well, what kind of robot is it? Where did this robot grow up?
So maybe the writer was the same as the voice actor.
I'm
Is what I'm getting at.
I'm thinking,
too.
yeah,
Maybe those are the same people.
it's
So
possible. And they each went with a different,
yeah.
predetermined theme of, because it'd be tough to look at a PC monitor and be like, okay, I wonder what you talk like.
Oh, but it might.
But give me the cheddar, see?
You can just tell
Yeah.
you can just tell the studio is cool though.
Fuck yeah.
And
Dude.
this has me excited for Vacation Sim and then Cosmonious High.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm itching.
Because like
Itching.
if this type of humor stays consistent,
That's what I'm hoping.
if this is just like the vibe
I'm hoping they
of
don't Nintendo it. Because right now we're looking at crude humor. I didn't find it too crude. So
No,
I don't want
also-
it to loosen up. I
I
want
also
it
didn't
to
find it too corny either. It was a good
give me a
balance.
NC-17 version. I'm cool with that too. I appreciate the humor.
Yeah.
It
was
not-
witty.
Yeah, it's not like afterthought shit. It's like
The
it's
game-
part of the experience.
The game's not stale. Oh, I can't believe I got off of this, but something I was saying before, somebody might hear like, oh, 30 minminutes to, fine, I'll say an hour, but maybe an hour and a half in the office. They might go, well, there's like
I really like that hour and a half.
there's you're going to say there's like 2 to 4 hours of gameplay, 2 to 5 hours, it's not much, but there is post-game content in the sense that they give you some mods to modify the game when it's done, when you're all done. I won't tell you what those 3 mods are, but there are 3.
I was ready to spoil that like you don't even know.
You're about to?
Yeah, why not?
Oh,
No, I won't.
Okay.
I'm just saying I'm busting chops.
But so you get some mods, and then there's also something called infinite overtime mode, which is exactly as it would sound. It literally goes infinite. It's kind of like a sandbox.
Which I played.
And it's fun because, check this, there's job titles in it. Like you get promoted. You start at intern to the intern in each job, and you can go up in rank. I don't know what the max one is because I'll be honest with you, didn't get there.
Yeah, I don't know what max is, but when you get promoted, the
Give you like
little
a plaque.
helper bot comes out with a little desk plaque, with a new job title. So I stack them all on top of each other against the wall in like the convenience store.
I love it. And so yeah, it gives
And it
you.
tracks how many you've done as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, literally, dude, here's where it gets freaky.
They just have you do endless jobs.
Because I
though,
was
is
like, I wonder how many you could really do. And then you look at how big the counter is that they have, and it's like, dude, it's set up so if you want to do 1 million, you want to sit there tonight, do 1 million jobs, which you could never do. Damn, dude, it's got the counter for it. I mean, you do like 30 jobs, you feel like you've done nothing because there's so much space in the huge counter they have.
the game's good. I'd say take your time with it, interact with everything, just soak it in, But there is. So I was gonna say, but there is post game content. For me, I'm not gonna play around every day in infinite overtime. Mostly because I'm excited to just get to Vacation Sim and Cosmonious. But it's good to know that there is post game content.
Yeah, I mean, after unlocking everything and having the mods to play with and all that, I was actually like, okay, so do I mentally feel like I want to shelf it? And then I found myself going in and I'm like, I could totally see just picking something and doing it for 10 minutes just to
Get
to
a
screw
promotion.
around. But I think the biggest selling point after owning it is getting someone who might be new to VR to try it, because no motion sickness, definitely fun to play. And if they get the humor and all that, I think it's a great selling game for VR.
Yeah,
It's not asking a lot out of you, and you're getting a lot of enjoyment out of it.
I've heard that a big thing that causes motion sickness, it's like pretty much the primary cause is locomotion things. So like things like in-game movement.
Yeah, you got backgrounds going. Your brain doesn't know you're not moving.
Yeah, but if it's all room scale and it's all you moving, that doesn't exist.
And like you said, smaller scale, you don't even have to move. You just move your body left and right.
So
You
I
don't
think
even
it's
have to walk.
arguably number one for like
It's up there.
introduction to VR games. It's up there. I don't know if I'd say number one, but arguably it's in that top list of like, dude, you're new
I'd
to
say
VR.
a top 10 for must-own new VR users. Yeah.
Well, because not only does it show I'm sorry, not only is there no motion sickness and stuff like that, but again, it highlights the potential of VR with interactability and, combining things.
And having fun.
Yes.
It's not like a horror game where your first experience is going to be anxiety ridden. Would try not to get killed by zombies or some shit. It's fun.
I've even said it before, like dumb humor works the best in VR. I think it works better in VR than flat screen. There's something about, I don't know. If this game was flat screen, I don't know if I would have laughed as much as it is being in VR with these giant, personality robot monitors coming at me making dumb jokes.
It's funny you say that because High on Life, which has a huge comedic overtone when you play it. Definitely not. That's a game that lives up to the
M.
That lives up to the hype of crude humor. But if that were in VR, it would be so much funnier.
Exactly. There's something
so
about
much funnier.
Sometimes in flat screen, I go, nah, I'm not here to laugh. That's not why I'm playing games. But in VR, I love that type of just corny, not even corny, just silly, goofy.
I love when I play something and I find myself laughing, like legit laughing out loud, not like just text LOL.
No, dude, in tears.
Like I'm literally laughing, and it's just because of something some stupid computer said, but it's funny, So I definitely appreciate the comedic value.
I don't remember what it was. There was something that had me laughing for like 5 minutes, like straight. I was just like childishly just laughing.
I lost it on the thing that we can't talk about. For some reason, that struck me as like the funniest thing I'd heard all day.
Well, because again, it's taking names
get
literally.
The hell out of here.
Taking names literally.
So
hats off to the devs on this. They have me so excited for their next two. But Job Sim for $19.99, man, definitely up there on the must own like new VR experience.
I get why it's rated what it is. I do.
Yeah, dude, 14,000 reviews.
And let's be honest, have you ever really not seen it on sale? I constantly see this on sale. Or percentage off, whatever you want to call it, or it's always bundled. If you own one, the other ones are cheaper. So,
and like I said last week with the Light Brigade, if it's not on sale or whatever, but you want 25% off, visit the link in our show notes. It'll have the referral link for that. The referral program Meta does. So
you can always save a little. It's cool they allow that. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, technically we get credits for it too, or it'll be. I alternate. Last week I did my account. So this week I'll do yours for a job simulator. But it gives a user a discount if they're going to buy the game, if they love the review, which, I always love when somebody hits us up and they're like, dude, I bought the game because freaking the review.
Light Brigade. I think
our blacksmith friend.
Gordon Key Forge, is that it? Or Gorgian Key Forge? Yeah. I think he was like, all right, I'm already...
Yeah, my brain just says Guardian Keyforge, but I know
do
it's
too,
like Gordian,
but I know it's disrespectful to his freaking name and other.
Gordian.
Unless he's like, nah, dude, I wanted Guardian, but someone else had it.
Yeah, that could be it, but it's like spelt like Gordian
Badass
Keyforge.
knife maker.
Yeah, awesome blacksmith. But yeah, he commented, he's like, another game bot, due to Ruff Talk VR.
You know what's cool is anytime we've gotten a message about somebody saying like, hey, I and there's been quite a few, I got the game. It's like nobody's ever said, hey.
Yeah, you misrepresented the game.
I got that game and it sucked.
You fibber.
So, which is a good thing. Might be some difference of opinions in a certain department or whatever, but that's fine. Yeah. It's usually minimal. The end result, though, is amazingly usually the same. So,
but you want to take this moment, go into our final thoughts and our review?
Yeah. Why
All right.
not?
Perfect. So, like always, before we do that,
silly human.
Yeah. We'll take a moment, a little ad break from our sponsors. So we'll be back with you in just a moment. But you can use that time to go check out our Discord server, our Patreon server. You can find those links in our show notes. Our Discord server, we talked it up a bunch on Monday. Awesome community of people. If you enjoy the show, go check it out. Like I said, a whole bunch of fun discussion there.
If you're not driving.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're listening.
That just made me crack up when you said that because I'm like,
don't go whip it.
If not, you can go check it out now.
Yeah,
go. Just start driving down the highway, pull out that, iPhone and
wait till you park.
Unless you drive a Tesla, in which case you're probably playing video games anyways while it's ripping down the highway. So you, by all means, can go search on the internet.
Yeah, but absolutely. If you're driving, wait till you're done driving to go join the Discord server. But, community is great, and as well, you can go join our Patreon server where, we have different benefits if you want to be a supporter as well. We have an option for just donating with no benefits. So go check out the link in our show notes for that.
Friends with bennies?
Yeah, basically. So we'll be back with you in just a moment. And in the meantime, enjoy these words from our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code Ruff Talk VR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
Hey everyone, we're excited to announce our newest sponsor of the Ruff Talk VR podcast, Mindway, a new immersive well-being app on the MetaQuest store. Not only is Mindway scientifically backed, they are so confident you will like what you try that it is free to try, with monthly, annual, and lifetime passes available for upgrades once you fall in love. Featuring meditation courses, build your own meditation options, daily mindful practices, a beautiful original soundtrack, and scientifically developed content, Mindway makes meditation easy with interactive sessions that will teach you how to meditate with an accredited mindfulness instructor, because the time commitment and learning curve shouldn't get in the way of good habits. Anytime in the past I've tried to personally meditate, I would always find my mind wandering and thinking, and I never felt like I received an actual benefit. Mindway changed all that. With beautiful environments, these guided meditation sessions are interactive, dynamic audio and visual experience, making it easier for you to learn to meditate regularly, even in a world of distractions and racing thoughts. Beyond their mindfulness meditation sessions, Mindway also offers VR ASMR experiences to help you unwind after a long day, and sleep sessions designed to help you fall or stay asleep. And they even have sessions specifically designed for managing anxiety and increasing focus. Be good to your mind. Experience Mindway. Visit the link in our show notes to find the app directly, or just go to the MetaQuest store and search Mindway. That's MINDWAY to start your meditation today. Hey everyone, sorry for the interruption, but we have a special public service announcement. Manscaped now has beard products and now a brand new nose and ear hair trimmer. If you haven't already heard, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming are traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Plus, they've now launched the brand new Weed Whacker 2.0, which confirms they have all of your best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Time for you to upgrade your toolbox by going to manscaped.com and using our code RuffTalkVR for 20% off plus free shipping. Gentlemen, meet the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It is the ultimate package that makes it easier than ever to craft your signature look. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is an elite beard trimmer. The Beard Hedger is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. This waterproof cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. The Pro Kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. This includes Manscaped's beard shampoo and conditioner, beard oil, and beard balm to moisturize, style, and shimmer your new beard. Plus, the kit has 3 free gifts: a beard brush, a comb, and scissors. With a nice beard, you think your face is perfectly groomed, right? Wrong. You need to keep an eye out for those tough-to-trim ear and nose hairs. The brand new Weed Whacker 2.0 offers improved blades and skin-safe technology with a no-tugging guarantee. It's never been so painless to mind your manholes. Now that you have your face looking great, you must try Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 for the full body grooming experience. Good news though, the Performance Package 4.0 now comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0 and all of the other below-the-waist grooming products Manscaped is known for. Your significant other will be delighted to see you covering all bases, if you know what I mean. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code RuffTalkVR. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
And we are back. Now, here's the thing. I think you went first last week, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir, yes, sir.
Sir, yes, sir.
Caught me checking something. So no, I definitely I had to have gone first last week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. So yeah, I'll go first now then. So we always try to bounce it back and forth. So, like always though, our categories go gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, replayability, and value, each broken 1 to 20 with the total making up the final score. So, starting with gameplay, clean 20. That was a easy category on this one. The interactability of each job through the roof. The silliness in the tasks that they have you do, respective to each job through the roof. So the gameplay, freaking awesome. Clean 20 out of 20 on that one. Aesthetics, I'll give them 15 out of 20. I was even going back and forth. Do I go 20 out of 20 or do I go 15 out of 20? And that's remarkable for a game that came out in 2019 that it holds up so much that I was almost giving it a 20 out of 20. In the end, I ended up going 15 out of 20. If we hold it up to the standards of like we always use as a reference, Red Matter 2, it's not that crisp, but it's really freaking good graphics. So 15 on aesthetics. Functionality, clean 20. I mean, maybe you had a different experience, but I didn't have a single glitch or issue or anything like that. So that was an easy category as well. 20 on functionality. Replayability. I was going back and forth between 10 and 15, much like I was with aesthetics for 15 and 20. I was going back and forth with 10 and 15. There was the part of me that goes, I think a lot of people are just going to go play the 4 jobs, and that kind of has the game, you can always go back in the jobs and do a little bit more, but is it enough? That's the part of me saying 10. But then there's a part of me that goes, well, it's a 15. They give you that infinite overtime, which with the ranking up in the promotions, man, the first thing for me is like, I want to get, is there a CEO title? Like, I want to get max title. And then also, the mods that are really cool. So then there was that part of me pulling me to the 15 score. In the end, the 15 score won because I think that they do a pretty damn good job with what's possible for keeping the games replayable. If in turn you go, no, it's 10 replayability, better hills to die on. I understand it. But for me, it was 15 on replayability and 20 on value because at $19.99, this game was packed with humor, with fun. Like you said, you can find it on sale a bunch too. Like I said, you can visit the link in our show notes, get it with the referral code as well. But even at full price, $19.99, it's worth it. A lot of high quality production in this one. So yeah, 20 out of 20 on value. So 20, 15, 20, 15, 20, 90 out of 100 on my score.
Interesting, Mr. Bond. Okay. I can't really disagree with you on a bunch of stuff. So gameplay, it's fun. I'm trying to look at it from both how long we've played VR and like I've never played VR. So it's like this is a hell of an introduction. I give more kudos probably to the interactability of objects as well as the labeled crude humor, which I just call witty and fun. But it's a fun game. I honestly can't say anything negative about the actual gameplay of the game. So it to me is a 20. Aesthetics, I give it a 15. It's not a 20. The standards for a 20 nowadays have been set pretty high to where even things that are, I put a 20 as like, look, they're fantastic graphics. A 15 is like, they're good graphics, borderline, really good graphics. So it gets a 15. What else couples that? Because one could say, hey, this thing's 4 years old, and obviously graphically it's not the greatest, but you tie in the sounds and the voice work, and it's like, hello. That's when you start thinking like, is it a 20? So I get where you're coming from with the total package of aesthetics, meaning more than just the graphics looks of it, but the actual sounds as well as any voice work, then one could argue it's actually better than a 15. But a 15, which is damn impressive for a 4-year-old game. Functionality, I had no glitches. There's a lot to interact with. There's a lot to do. There's a lot you can do on your own. You can free ball it and just do your own stuff and create mayhem if you want, on top of the specific tasks they give you to do. There doesn't seem to be any real punishment for just expressing yourself however you want, but really not a glitch. So a 20, which is awesome. And then replayability, my strongest one to come to, because it's like, a 10 is really kind of what I feel it might be, but a 15 is what I believe it to be. Only because I already know that, like, it's nothing to be taken serious. So can I see myself going in and being like, you know what, I've got like 10 minutes to kill. I'm going to go in and just cause some mayhem.
Wait for a game to update.
Yeah.
It's like,
whatever the case. It's like, I don't have to take it serious. I can just go in and there's no seriousness to it. I can even pick whatever stage of whatever one I've already completed and just take it from there. Be like, oh, I want to make this, whatever the case. So I really believe it's a 15. And again, I'll go back to like, first time user. It might get more replayability just in having your friends try it when they come over versus yourself even playing it. And then, if you put one of your friends in it, they're going to be sitting there until they're done with all of them, blow through your whole battery life on the backup too. But so I give them a 15. I actually think that's fair. And then value for money, it's like, look, I honest to God, even at $20, it's a good deal. It falls right in that ballpark of, I think, $14.99 to $19.99. But you can see it on sale so much. It's always been like, it's in my face every time I turn on my headset for the past 2 years. It's like you can't avoid the thing. So there is, and like you said, you can save 25%, whatever, on a link. So it's totally worth it. It's a 20. So 20, 15, 20, 15, 20 is the same exact score, a 90. I think all of ours were exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm glad I went first this week, so nobody can say I copied you.
No, we don't. No reason to do that.
Yeah, no.
Half the fun to me would be is if we actually disagreed heavy on more shit. But the reality is, I mean, look, the way it gets broken down, there might be something like you scored differently and I scored higher, but I can't argue with what you said and you're not arguing with what I said.
Okay, here's the thing. I think
usually some sway.
If we didn't force ourselves to use the categories and we just went, what do you give it 0 out of 100? And we just went in blind, there would be more debate because we'd be like, well, no, actually, we want it. I'd be so much less confident because we do the categories. Oftentimes we agree, but it really forces you to sit down and analyze each aspect of the game.
Yeah, and you might not be giving credit and just shoot me a 1 to 100 just for the sake of it without different categories that make that up.
It's been cool to see the iteration, the growth of the review category because it started 0 to 100.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It started 0 to 5.
0 to 5. 5-star. Well, we were doing like the 4 or 5-star rating.
Yeah,
thing.
But
give it 5 stars.
Yeah, it's hard. There's not enough variance.
It took us only a few episodes to realize that
we need to go 1 to 10.
This is not going to work with what we're doing as far as the world of VR. I mean, I wouldn't even want to do it in the sense of like flat screen gaming.
No.
If anything, if I did flat screen, I'd probably have 10 categories of 10 just to tighten a notch because it's been around longer.
So then we ended up going 1 to 10. And then we did the introduction of the categories of 1 to 100 we had 4 categories with the total of 1 to 25. Yeah. We had gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, and replayability. And then I guess you could say the 4.0 edition was adding value. And that was a very good category to add, I think.
Yeah, because
I think otherwise we wouldn't have added it, but it's just
and like or love the categories because in some times there's been some really good games that have
get a worse score. Yeah,
gotten a little hurt by our category system versus if it was 'Cause I remember one time I was even looking at you and I was like,
How do I make this
is
better?
there any way that we can change? And like, you can't, dude,
Yeah.
just because the game is good, but you got to call the category honest.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't always, there's not a lot of wiggle room here,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
The easiest category for a good game to get hurt on is definitely functionality, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Especially if it's pretty bad.
But functionality is also like, you know, a game that's
replayability is a hard one too, because there's there's good games that are you're just not going to play them a lot.
Story-based games.
Well, we have a different
we switch it for difficulty, which makes sense.
Like puzzle games.
Yeah, puzzle-based games. Yeah, because
Like
you're not going to play
shell
through a
games.
puzzle game multiple times.
No, but I'm itching to replay. I Expect You to Die 1 and 2, because I Expect You to Die 3
is
coming to me.
That's true. As soon as I have an official release date on
hands
that,
on it. Certainly, they're not giving it to me. Just so I'm not misrepresenting. I am not sitting on a.
You're trying your hardest
beautiful copy.
Plant seeds to get it, but we don't have
games.
it. Reach out.
Shell games. Nah, Shell's awesome.
Yeah. No, but
I'm really craving. It's been a while, dude. It's like the last puzzle game I think we really did was Red Matter 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, hello.
Mm-hmm.
It's like last year's news. I love the challenge.
Yeah.
And
but I'm excited
no,
to
that's not true. The one with the robots we reviewed.
Oh, the last Clock Wender.
Yep.
But that was kind of a unique puzzle. I don't try to.
Yeah, but it was still. I'll take it.
It
obviously didn't feed the appetite for true puzzle or escape room.
I'll put these guys. Owlchemy. I'm not even gonna keep trying to pronounce it. Labs, whatever. Owl people. I'll put them in the same, high level category as like a Resolution, a Shell Games, a Fast Travel, a Vertigo. Vertigo games.
They know what they're doing.
I'm so excited for Vacation Simulator and Cosmonious High.
I'm more excited for that one than Vacation Sim.
I agree. Well,
just because I hear more people are talking about it, and it's like there's obviously a lot to do in there.
Well, it's their most recent one too.
I want to do that one.
Yeah, but we'll go in order. So next will be Vacation Sim, then Cosmonious High, and we got to try to interview somebody from the studio because these guys are way too funny.
Yeah, it would. It would just be something to be that funny, but be that like dry.
Oh my goodness,
you know what I'm saying?
Dull. It's like pulling teeth, talking to him like oh my
a really
goodness.
good comedy writer. You couldn't have a conversation with him, but he writes really good comedy. But has to do it in a room with the shades down because he's got no social skills. But it's like, dude, you're giving people amazing shit to say that's funny. But I love people like that, man.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
But I think they'd be.
But no, I think they're genuinely funny. Come on, if one of them did, or not one of them, but a handful of them did the voiceover work.
Give me that cheddar.
Give me the cheddar.
The cheddar.
Give me the cheddar. Give me the interview. Huh? See here, we want you to come on for an interview.
And I think this is the first time ever
for no cheddar
in the history of the podcast where we've given like a heads up of the next couple weeks of games content.
Well, there's a reason for that. And that's because we're expending a lot of energy at PAX East
this upcoming weekend.
We got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of PAX East in Boston. So we're going to be there.
We'll be there Friday and Saturday.
And, we're taking the show on the road for this one. So in a perfect world, we'll have something to show for it.
Yeah. There's unfortunately
technology being what it is, maybe we won't.
The way things went last year, we couldn't go to PAX East because we're still kind of figuring out our bases in the VR world. You could say this time last year, we were a year in, but like we were just starting to look at conventions, and PAX East just came in way too short notice for when we really started to spot it. But it had a really good VR turnout this year. Unfortunately, GDC. And I believe San Francisco
sucking all the VR life.
It's like the same weekend, I think. East. Yeah, or like right before. I think
there's still some though.
Yeah. I was gonna say like so GDC definitely stole a lot of the VR crowd, but like example, Resolution Games is gonna be in
PAX East.
Dude, I also saw that the voice actor for Arthur Morgan.
Yeah,
Red
dude.
Dead Redemption.
We gotta hunt that guy down.
He's going to be doing some sort of speech, I think it is.
I know. I just don't want to sit through the speech. I want to talk to him.
Yeah, but so, and then there's going to be some other VR developers. I saw Peaky Blinders developers.
Talk like Arthur did. Don't talk like your real voice. Talk like Arthur did.
Yeah. Hey, man, that was one of the best storylines in any game. But nonetheless, Peaky Blinders developers are going to be there. There's going to be some other little indie VR developers. Maybe we'll bump into some other VR content creators. Or
are we going to get in a fist fight with the Peaky Blinders guy?
The Peaky Blinders is going to talk shit to us and
with his English accent.
Yeah.
Throw us a good old-fashioned arse whooping. I'm going to kick your arse.
So that'll be fun. So that'll be this upcoming weekend. And then
I started watching Peaky Blinders.
How is it?
It's actually pretty freaking good.
Okay. Let's see if we can get the game.
Yeah, and I saw a documentary. Well, not a documentary, a reality show. Me and my fiance watched, and I saw one of the makeup artists who handles all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Some pretty graphic shit.
Mm-hmm.
But Peaky Blinders, yeah. I wanted to get to understand the lore more than reading it. I wanted to see the characters so I can appreciate the characters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
To see how much they nailed it.
Yeah, really appreciate the labor of love and the effort.
But yeah, Peaky Blinders will be there.
Yep,
but you got me all excited to want to run into Arthur.
Yeah.
Howard, no, I don't want to. Never mind. I'll stop.
So, like you said, though, hopefully we have something good to report back from there. I'm sure we'll be posting a bunch on social media. Let's see if we can get some good interviews and stuff like that. And
we'll get some.
If not, you're going to hear about it. At the very least, you're going to hear about it the following Monday.
Something. Should be a lot, but who knows? But that's why we're doing the pre-notice of.
Promise nothing but my voice. That's it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
gonna do a lot of walking.
Half
a million square feet.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Mm-hmm. And we're staying at a nice hotel because they have, like, if you go on PAX East website and you go to the hotels section, they're always for these events they have like affiliated hotels and stuff.
Of course.
Very rarely
it's part of the tourism committee.
Yeah, in my experience though, very rarely is the discount like really any good. It was pretty hefty with these.
It was a good one.
It was a good one.
You're also dealing with Boston, so you're paying on a weekend.
I don't think I would have been able to pay.
Hello.
The when I looked it up on the Google listing.
Not for the one we're staying at.
No,
we would have been, taking Uber 20 miles away.
Staying in some dude's closet in an Airbnb,
out in Natick or something. We wouldn't be in Boston no more. Natick's expensive too, so I don't even think that'd be an option. Damn, man. No,
we lucked out. We're way above our class, I'll say, and where we're staying. It's nice.
Boston does a good job of their, and to put 500,000 square feet into perspective, like a good sized department store is 40,000. Mm-hmm. Think how long it takes to walk from one end to
I think it's a 3-floor event. I think the top floor is all of the booths and stuff like that. And
you can put if I remember, you can put the Statue of Liberty laying down in the building, and it would never touch wall to wall.
In the BCC?
Yeah, BCEC.
BCEC.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut. No, BCEC, I mean, they're good, dude. They run but they're it's like some people get civic centers and exhibition halls. It's like it's mind-boggling. I was
disappointed to see Meta didn't have a booth. Nintendo has a booth.
Yeah,
Nintendo has a booth. Meta, you're gonna get beat by Nintendo.
I know.
No disrespect to Nintendo. I love Nintendo. I'm not talking. I'm just being silly.
They had their place in time, and then
whoa. Every other console, Nintendo kicks ass.
Yeah.
Every other console.
Listen.
The Switch was a hit.
Of course. I just think
the Wii was a hit. The Wii U.
They were
I don't know about
for
that.
a while. They were the best there was, but then they put their feet in the sand with there's certain content we will not allow, and we're gonna stick to that more. And it's worked. It's worked for them, so I can't shit on them for it.
Nintendo is what they are. They're established. And again, every other console, Nintendo kicks ass.
When the Wii came out, I thought that was revolutionary. I'm like,
I loved my
GameCube.
Man. I loved my GameCube. Yeah. I loved my Game Boy Advanced. I had the Game Boy Advance. I'm sorry, I had the Game Boy. Then I got Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced, Game Boy SP, and then I stopped at the DS. And then they lost me at the 3DS and all that stuff.
the early. I mean, I had Nintendo when it came out.
Oh, and then I had a
Super
Nintendo 64.
Yep.
Nintendo 64 is one of my favorite game systems growing up. Then the GameCube. So I've always loved Nintendo too.
But in fairness,
I don't have a Switch, but the Switch looks good.
Also had the Sega Genesis, had the freaking
Dreamcast,
had you know, PlayStation.
Yeah, so
2,
I'm not hating on
Xbox.
Nintendo. When I say when I say you're gonna get beat by Nintendo, I'm not. I don't mean that
in the VR world.
Yeah, I'm being silly, you know.
Yeah, but Nintendo's always been that
yeah.
family thing to me. Not really a.
It just.
I'm good.
I'm hoping we go there and there's a little bit bigger VR scene than the booth.
Let's see. There's only like 1,000 friggin' booths there.
Hey, we're gonna have business cards.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have business cards.
No, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very. 8 in the morning to midnight? It'll be good.
Yeah. We have on the go equipment set up too. We're decked out for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. If nothing else, you know what? Maybe
we got good new equipment.
I was gonna say, if nothing else, maybe since it's our first VR or our first convention ever as podcasters, maybe it's good that the first one's a little bit more laid back in terms of the VR scene, so we can kind of slowly get used to it. I'm just trying to be optimistic, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a sea of people, and we'll be part of it. So
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's all right. We got.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Nope. So please, if you're going to PAX East, it won't be hard to find us amongst 20,000 people.
We'll be decked out in Ruff Talk VR stuff. It'll either be purple or it'll be black. The backpack will be purple, but I got a mix of. I feel like those are our two brand colors. We're just
going
to
carry a big balloon tied to our wrist, be 20 feet in the air.
Hey, dangerous time for balloons, man.
Oh yeah, right. I don't want it to get shot down.
All right, nonetheless. So hope you guys enjoyed this week of episodes. You know, Monday morning news this past Monday. You know, job simulator this week. Next week, we'll hit you with some PAX East recap on our Monday morning news, and we'll also touch base on vacation sim. And other than that, enjoy the rest of your week.
I'm ready for that vacation.
Woo.